Welcome to another Power Yoga class. Today we are focusing on building upper body strength and lower body key muscles as we find our headstand. So while headstand is the peak pose, it is not going to be the goal of the class. It is 100% optional. Whether or not you find your headstand, you will still feel nice and challenged. Safety is key as we get upside down, so I'll be giving a lot of cues that'll help you keep your neck long and your shoulders and forearms nice and engaged. Nice and simple for today's class. We don't need any props, so let's go ahead and get after it. Let's start off by meeting in child's pose. High five your hands to the top edge of your space, knees wider than hip width distance. Melt your heart and head to the ground. One round of clearing breath to kick off our practice. Breathe in through your nose, expand in your belly and ribs. Now take an open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Gently sealing your lips. Top of your next inhale, bend your elbows and slide your hands in. Land with your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let's find a Sphinx pose. Lowering onto your legs and belly, we begin by finding our forearm engagement with the earth. So can you press your forearms down against the earth just a bit more? You're grounding down in your index finger and thumbs if your hands are high-fiving the mat, or another option is to lace all 10 of your fingers, in which case you'll press the pinky edges of your hands down. Take a deep breath in through your nose, looking forward, pressing your shoulders down against the earth. As you exhale, now curl onto your toes, lift your hips into forearm plank. Eyes look up towards the top edge of your space, steady and strong in your breath. Inhale through your nose. Can you draw your heels closer to the back wall? So already right here, if your hips sag below your shoulders, you can lower onto the knees. As you exhale, can we press the forearms down into the earth just a bit more? Keep the neck nice and long, head is lifted. Beautiful job. Inhale, lower back onto your belly, untuck your toes, breathing into your Sphinx pose, here to 1, 2, and exhale, curl onto your toes or knees, lift your hips back up into forearm plank, holding here for 3, 2, 1. One more count. Inhale, belly against the earth, breathing into 1, 2, and exhale. Curl onto your toes, lifting your hips to 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Holding your forearm plank nice and strong. We're adding more heat and strength for the upper body now. Can you find your seesaw pose? So as you inhale, glide forward, shoulders in front of the elbows, and exhale, glide to the back, shoulders in back of the elbows. One breath, one movement, steady and strong. You can stay curled onto all 10 of your toes, or maybe rest your knees against the earth for a rep or 2. 2 more counts. Inhale, breathe in, sending your shoulders past your elbows, and exhale, rock to the back. Final count, inhale, rock forward, and exhale to the back. From here, bend your knees out in opposite directions, big toes touch. We'll come back to our lower body extended child's pose. I want you to reach your right arm long, left arm threads underneath, making an L shape with both your arms. Now you can rest on your right palm or maybe TP onto the fingertips, finding some openness to the heart. I feel this nice release to your forearms and upper body. As you inhale, maybe reach your right fingertips closer to the front. Exhale, sit your hips closer to the back. Switching it out, bend your right elbow. Go ahead and reach your left arm long. And we find our thread with our right arm this time. Can you stack your left shoulder above your right? You're welcome to come onto the fingertips of your left hand. And can you sit your hips closer to your heels? Breathe in, maybe look up towards the ceiling. Here to 1, 2, and exhale, release to 3, 2, 1. Top of your next inhale, look forward. Plant both your hands underneath your shoulders. Stack your knees underneath your hips. Curl onto all 10 of your toes. Send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. You can pedal out one leg and the other, feeling this nice stretch to your legs and length in the spine. A downward facing dog is an inversion. It is heart over head. So, can we find that strong engagement, pressing into our index finger and thumbs? Feel that strength rise up to your arms and shoulders. Eyes are looking towards belly button or kneecaps. Breathe into your nose. Sweep your right leg up high to the sky. See if this changes anything. Notice if you're leaning closer to your left-hand side. Can you ground down evenly in both of your arms? As you exhale, bend your right knee into your chest. Look forward for a tiger crunch. One more count. Inhale. Extend your right leg long. Down dog splits. Exhale. Crunch knee to chest. Look forward and step your right leg forward. Feet are in 2 different lanes of traffic. You can walk your left foot closer to the left. Inhale. Sweep your arms up high. Crescent warrior. Strong 90-degree bend to your right leg. Let's ball our hands into fists. Feel this nice stretch to your wrists and forearms. Now as you exhale, cactus your elbows in towards your ribs. There's a string attached to the top of your head. Top of your head draws closer up to the ceiling. Inhale, sweep your arms up high. Now as you exhale, lace your fingers to the back, palms touch. Point your right toes out to a diagonal. We're in a warrior 1. Our stance is just a little bit wider with our feet. Can your palms touch? Inhale, look up. Can you send your hands higher up to the ceiling? And exhale, hinge at your hips. Humble warrior, right shoulder rests against your thigh, or maybe shoulder to the inside of your knee. Another inversion with our heart overhead. Can you sway your arms from side to side? Notice if your shoulders are drooping towards your ears. Let's fight gravity. Pull your shoulders away from your head. Neck is long. Eyes are looking towards your belly button or your left kneecap. Continue to sway from side to side. Here for 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and exhale. Unlace your fingers. Plant your hands to the inside of your right leg. So we're going to find a diagonal shape with the hands. Maybe your left hand walks off your yoga mat. Send your hips up and back. This is your warrior dog. So the legs are in a warrior 2 position. It is downward dog from your hands up to your hips. Maybe you start to scoot your back leg closer to the front so you can get more length in the spine. Press the ground away from you. Send your hips back. Breathe in through your nose. Expand to 1, 2. Open mouth, exhale to release. Top of your next inhale, rock forward. Both hands in one line with your right foot. Lower onto your left knee. Start to heel toe your right toes out to a diagonal. We find our lizard lunge, opening up in our right hip. You're lifting and lowering your right toes. Eyes are looking up towards the top edge of your space. You can shake your head from side to side, maybe nod your head up and down. So as you're breathing into your lizard lunge, maybe you start to lower your left forearm down. Maybe you stay on your right hand. Neck stays long, eyes look towards the top edge of the mat. And as you're breathing deeper into your lizard lunge, maybe both forearms come down. Your palms can touch, maybe lace all 10 of your fingers. You can continue to find organic movements, whether that means circling out your right leg and torso, or maybe that means rocking back and forth. Final option right here in your lizard lunge, maybe curl onto your left toes, lifting your left knee. You can start to find stillness as you look forward. Breathe in through your nose. Can you feel that connection as you press your forearms down against the earth? And you can take an open mouth exhale to release. Maybe start to point and flex your right toes away from the ground. Make sure your right toes are pointing outwards, finding your external hip rotation. Breathe in through your nose. Expand to 1, 2. Exhale, release to 3, 2, 1. Now lower onto your left knee. Let your hands back in line with your right foot. Sweep your right leg all the way to the back. Extend your right arm long. Roll flat onto your back. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest for ball pose. And start to breathe in, lifting your head towards your knees, getting nice and compact. Can you start to imprint your low back against the ground? Now, option 1, you can find a 90-degree shape with your legs, hands. Pull the thighs closer to your face and the thighs press forward. So it's this opposing force from your hands into your legs. Maybe you start to hover your legs closer to the ground. A little bend to your knees is always welcome. We're going to start to find a bob to our limbs, finding our stretch pose. Can you draw the shoulders away from the ears? Keep your neck nice and long. So again, as we get upside down, I want you to take note of how you feel right now. How does the low belly feel? Hovering away from the earth. How do the backs of your ribs feel? Nice and connected to the rest of your core. Breathe in through your nose. Optional open mouth exhale. You're here for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Touch down with your heels. Hook your thumbs. Reach your arms up high. Big morning stretch. Breathing in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Go ahead and bend your knees back into your chest. Roll over onto your right hand side. Find a Sphinx pose. Forearms meet the mat. Elbows in line with your ribs. Pressing your palms down against the earth. Can you lace all 10 of your fingers together? Pause right here. Notice if your elbows are flaring outwards. For me in my headstand, I always like to think of it as drawing my elbows closer to the back. Elbows are shoulder width distance. Curl onto all 10 of your toes. Hover your hips for forearm plank. Just 1 count of breath. Inhale here to 1, 2. Open mouth exhale to release. Now, can you unlace all 10 of your fingers, ball your hands into fists? Now find that diagonal shape outwards with both of your elbows. We're going to start to tiptoe the toes closer to the front, finding a puppy dog pose. It's a puppy dog modification as we ball our hands into fists and punch our hands against the ground. Think back to your downward dog. Can your eyes look towards your belly button or kneecaps? 1 count of breath. Keep pressing your forearms down against the earth. Then take an open mouth exhale. At the bottom of your exhale, keep looking back. You're going to inhale. Lift your right forearm and walk it closer to the back. Moving on to the other side, lift your left forearm, walk it closer to the back. 1 more count on each side. Inhale, right forearm lifts, and exhale, press it to the back. So at this point, you are welcome to keep a slight bend to your knees. Inhale, left forearm lifts, and exhale, press it back down. Top of your next inhale, bring it all the way back to the front. Left forearm walks to the front. And exhale, touch the forearm down. Inhale, lift your right forearm, and exhale, touch down. One more on each side. Inhale, lift your left forearm. Now your gaze can start to look forward, and exhale. Final count, we lift the right forearm, and exhale, touch down. Lower onto your knees. Send your knees out wide to the width of your mat. Tap onto your fingertips. Send your hips close to your heels. Extended child's pose. Can you feel this nice stretch to the low back? Fingertips walk closer to the front. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Back into your downward dog. Breathe into your pose. Notice how different this pose feels compared to your puppy dog. So we have less surface area touching the earth compared to the forearms. Top of your next inhale, sweep your left leg up high to the sky, finding your down dog splits. There's a strong diagonal line from your hands all the way up to your arms, torso, and left leg. As you exhale, crunch, knee to chest, rock forward for tight pose. One more count. Inhale, left leg up high to the sky. Exhale, crunch, knee to chest, look forward, step your left foot forward. Strong 90-degree shape to our front leg. Feet in two different lanes of traffic. Inhale, sweep your arms up high, finding your crescent warrior. You can ball your hands into fists, feeling a stretch to your forearms and wrists. Maybe lift and lower your left toes a few times. Top of your next inhale, spread your fingers, arms up high. Exhale, cactus your elbows in towards your ribs. Really feel this connection from your elbows into your rib cage. One more count. Inhale, arms up high. Now as you exhale, go ahead and lace your fingers to the back. Maybe bring your left thumb on top this time. Point your right toes out to a diagonal. So we find our wider stance. Warrior one, maybe the palms touch. Inhale, breathe in. Lift your hands up higher to the sky, looking up. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, humble warrior. Left shoulder rests against your left thigh. Maybe shoulder dips to the inside of the knee. You can sway your arms from side to side. Maybe nod your head up and down. Option to open and close your mouth. So we find our inversion right here. Again, take note if the shoulders want to draw closer to the ears. Find that nice energy and lift the shoulders away from the neck. Can you send the hands closer to the earth here for an inhale? As you exhale, unlace your fingers. Walk your hands to the left-hand corner of your space. So maybe both hands hang out to the outside of your mat. We find our warrior dog. Can you press the earth away from you? Feeling that length in your spine as you lift your hips up and back. Legs stay strong in this asymmetrical shape. Breathe in through your nose. Here to 1, 2. Open mouth, exhale to release. Gently sealing your lips. Inhale, look forward. Both hands in one line with your left toes. Point your left toes out to a diagonal. We find our lizard lunge. You can rock forwards and backwards. Find these organic movements where you can flush out the heat that we have just built in the left thigh. We keep our neck long, so eyes settle towards the top edge of your space. As you breathe into your lizard lunge, maybe we start to lower the right forearm down. Take note of how the placement of your left foot feels. So maybe you want to heel toe your left foot closer to the left. Keep your toes pointed out, heel in. So foot is in a diagonal shape. Feel free to rock forwards and backwards, left and right as you breathe into your pose. Every side will feel different in terms of openness to the hips. So take note of how it would feel if you brought your left forearm down against the earth. Hands can high-five the mat, or maybe you lace all 10 of your fingers. If the fingers are laced, let's see if we can stack the elbows underneath the shoulders. Final option, maybe curl onto your right toes, lifting your right knee. And you can continue to find these movements with your left hip and thigh. One more steady count of a breath. Breathe in through your nose. Expand in your ribs and belly. And exhale, release in your belly, ribs, and chest. Beautiful job, my friends. If you lifted your back knee, begin by lowering it back onto the mat. Hands high-five the earth. You're going to sweep your left leg back to meet your right. Roll over onto the left-hand side of your space, finding your fetal posture. Left bicep is a pillow for your ear. Plant your right hand against the earth. Press yourself flat onto your back. Let's find a ball pose once more. Bend your knees into your chest. Lace your fingers across your shins. Inhale, imprint your low back down against the mat and reach your forehead towards your knees. Now, can you keep the backs of your ribs imprinted down against the mat? Maybe you start to find a 90-degree shape to your legs. So again, thighs press forward, hands press closer to the back. You're welcome to stay right here. Maybe hover the arms by your sides. You can start to find your lever in your stretch pose. So maybe you find a diagonal shape to the legs. A little bend to the knees is always welcome. If your neck is feeling sensitive, you can always bend the elbows and lace the fingers to the back of the head. As you're finding this movement, can you bring the top of your head closer to the back of your space? Neck stays long. Low back is imprinted down against the earth. Backs of the ribs pressed down. Low belly is engaged. You can breathe in through your nose, maybe out through your mouth. Here for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Go ahead and exhale. Touch down with your heels, hook your thumbs. Big morning stretch. Reach your hands high up. And breathing in through your nose, filling up in your ribs and belly. And take an open mouth exhale. Unhook your thumbs, rebend your knees. Roll over onto the left-hand side of your space, back into fetal posture. Press your hands down against the earth. And from here, forearms underneath the shoulders. We extend our legs long, finding our Sphinx pose. Here for an inhale. Can you press your hands down against the earth? Neck stays long, eyes are looking forward. Now as you exhale, curl onto your toes, lifting your hips in line with your shoulders. If this is a lot for the low back, you can always lower onto the knees. Maybe we come to lace all 10 of our fingers. 1 count of breath in our forearm plank. Inhale, can you press your forearms down into the earth, nice and stable? As you exhale, maybe reach your heels closer to the back. Top of your next inhale, if you lace your fingers, unlace them. Now, we start to find that diagonal shape with our elbows and forearms. So elbows out, forearms in. Start to tiptoe your toes, a few steps closer to the front. We meet in puppy dog pose. Again, if the legs are feeling sensitive, you can always find a slight bend to your knees. Top of your next inhale, let's go ahead and lift our left forearm and exhale. Plant the left forearm down. Inhale, lift the right forearm, fist in back of the left fist, and you touch down. 2 more counts. Inhale, lifting our left forearm, fist in back of the other fist. Inhale, right forearm up high, and exhale. Can you look towards your kneecaps or ankles? Let's travel all the way back to the front of our space. Inhale, lifting your right forearm, hand stays in the fist, and exhale, touch down. Inhale, lift the left forearm, exhale, touch down. 1 more on each side. Inhale, right forearm lifts, and exhale, touch down. Final count, inhale, left forearm lifts, and exhale, touch down. From here, let's go ahead and send the knees out in opposite directions. Big toes meet the earth. Fingertips reach closer to the front. Sit your hips closer to your heels. Steady breath in through your nose. Fill up in your ribs and belly. And take an open mouth exhale to release. So we've done quite a bit of work on our forearms. Let's go ahead and stretch it out before we find our peak pose. Bend your elbows, slide your hands back. Rock onto your shoulders, stacking over your wrists. Start off by flipping your fingers out in opposite directions. Bend one elbow and then the other. We're still keeping our legs in our child's pose position, knees out wide. Keep your eyes looking towards the top edge of your space. Now let's bring it all the way back to the center. On our next inhale, can you flip your fingers towards your knees? Take a couple rounds of cow-cat. Inhale, breathing into the belly and the ribs, heart and head look forward. Exhale, rounding and folding, tucking your chin towards your throat, finding your cat pose. 1 more count on each side. Inhale, finding your back bend, strong in your cow pose. And exhale, round and fold in your cat pose. Top of your next inhale, eyes look up towards the top edge of your mat. Let's go ahead and flip the fingers back to face the front. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Let's lace back onto our fingertips. Big toes together to touch, puppy dog pose. Start to tiptoe your toes closer to the front. You find your upside down V shape, nice and strong in your triangle. Now already right here, notice if your elbows want to draw closer to the front. Can you start to stack the shoulders over the elbows? As you lace all 10 of your fingers, lace the fingers to the back of your head. Notice right here, if there's a lot of space between your elbows and your head, maybe you draw those elbows closer in to the center. We keep pressing the forearms down into the earth. Notice what's going on with the top of your head. Can you find just a little bit of space between the top of your head and your yoga mat? Eyes look back towards your ankles or knees. Now, as you inhale, lift your right leg up high. As you exhale, bend and crunch your knee to your chest. Inhale, straighten out to your right leg, and exhale, bend and crunch. We're just getting used to how this feels balancing on one foot. Excellent job. Right foot steps to meet the left, back into your puppy dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up, and exhale, crunch, knee to chest. Inhale, straighten your left leg up, and exhale, crunch. Top of your next inhale, straighten your left leg up, and exhale. Both feet meet the earth. Lower onto your knees. Knees go out wide. This time we're going to thread the needle. So sweep your right arm forward. Left arm reaches over to the right hand side of your space. Can you actively press the back of your left shoulder down into the mat? Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring it over to the other side. This time, left arm goes long as you inhale. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath. So we find these perpendicular lines with the arms, making an L shape. Can you sit your hips closer to your heels? Breathe into 1, 2. Breathe out to 3, 2, 1. Top of your next inhale, eyes look towards the top edge of your space. Re-bend in your left elbow. Elbows come underneath the shoulders. Relace all 10 of your fingers. We come back into our puppy dog pose. Hug the fingers to the back of the head. From here, we start to tiptoe our feet closer to our head. So with headstand, I always like to remember how stable we are right here. Forearms touch down, head is gently resting against our fingertips. Shoulders are strong, backs of the ribs are engaged. So you start to tiptoe your feet closer to your head. You may find that bending your knees may feel more accessible. And then you start to lift and lower, one set of toes followed by the other. Here's a great place to stay. Make sure we are actively pressing the forearms down and your neck stays long. So think back to your humble warrior. Do the shoulders want to droop towards the ears? Reach the shoulders away from the head. Now from here, maybe we start to lift onto our tiptoes. Maybe we start to find a lift with one of our knees and the other knee. Now it's more important that we stay nice and engaged in the low belly. It's okay if we have a little bend to the knees. Maybe now the legs want to start to straighten up to the ceiling. Make sure we are not clenching in the jaw. One more beat. Inhale here to 1, 2. Think of it as kicking your feet up towards the ceiling. Exhale to 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Begin by bending one knee. Step down with one set of toes, followed by the other. We're going to look forward and find our extended child's pose again. Hands reach out in opposite directions this time. You can keep a slight bend to the elbows. Maybe your chin rests down against the mat. Keep your neck long. Take a steady breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Gently sealing your lips. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. You did that good strengthening work for the forearms. So let's go ahead and stretch it out. Roll flat onto your back. Begin by bending your knees towards your shoulders. Hands will reach for the outer edges of your feet. So maybe hands hold onto the ankles, hands hold onto the feet. As you start to rock from side to side, maybe you straighten one leg and the other in your happy baby. Think of it as reaching your feet further away from you. Maybe you start to feel this nice stretch to the forearms as they hold on towards the ankles or feet. Keep your low back imprinted against the earth. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Top of your next inhale, bend your knees in towards your chest. Lace your fingers to the backs of your thighs. Straighten your legs towards the ceiling any amount. Point and flex your toes. Notice if your shoulders want to shrug towards your ears, you can always find a bend to the elbows. Keep the backs of your ribs imprinted down against the mat. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Now go ahead and exhale. Unlace your fingers. Send your arms by your sides. Keep that bend to your knees. Walk your feet mat width distance, knees together to touch. Find a 90-degree goalpost to your arms. Ball your hands in a fist and press your shoulders down into the earth. Can you find that nice connection with the back of your arms against the ground? Notice if the low back wants to lift away from the earth. Keep it planted down. Breathe in through your nose to 1, 2. Breathe out to 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Let's go ahead and find our corpse pose. Unball your fists. Spread your fingers long. Send your arms by your sides. You can extend one leg and the other as you find your resting position. Option to blink your eyes closed, or maybe you gently rest your gaze down the bridge of your nose. Release control to the breath. Now you're taking just a simple inhale and exhale through the nose. Allow yourself to grow heavy and take up space. You are welcome to continue resting in your corpse pose Shavasana. If you're ready to be guided out, take an inhale through your nose. Reach your right arm long. Bend your knees. Roll over onto your right hand side. Left hand plants in front of your heart. Now nudge your left hand down against the ground. Press yourself up into an easy seat facing the front. We land bent at the knees and crossed at the shins. Take an inhale, lace your fingers, flip your palms up to the ceiling. As you exhale, unlace your fingers, plant your right hand down, reach your left arm over to the right hand side of your space. Top of your next inhale, bring it all the way back to the center, left thumb on top. As you lace your fingers, flip your palms up, and exhale. This time left hand meets the earth, right hand reaches to the opposite side. Inhale, bring it all the way back to the center, palms touch. Bend your elbows, bring your hands to your heart center. Bow your chin towards your chest, sealing your practice. The light, the love in me, sees and honors the light, the love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me for your practice today. If you have any questions or requests, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.